What's up, good people? Welcome to the episode 2 of the Talk of the Shore. I'm one of your hosts, Ralan Wardlaw.
And I'm Langston Frazier.
How you doing, Langston?
I'm feeling great. We're back for another show. We didn't get kicked off the air, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we're still here. We're still here. And as you all know, well, first of all, I want to thank Trevor Callerman, who was here last week, being our first guest. And we'll get to our second guest later. But as you all know, we're going to start with the HBCU Factor today. Langston, take it away.
HBCU Factor today. One of my favorite parts of the show. So let's drop some knowledge on you.
Please
do. My HBCU Factor today, did you know that Cheyney University of Pennsylvania is the oldest HBCU in the country? Do you know when they were founded and when they were kind of established as a university? Any guess?
Well, 1800s has to be.
Okay, you got that right.
1800s has to be, so...
How about
hold on, when did they free the slaves? Air quotes, free the slaves? 1865? It was probably before that, though.
Something like that.
So before that.
But it was founded on February 25th, 1837.
Wow.
You know how crazy that is?
Wow.
That's like old.
Yeah.
Older than UMES.
For sure. And so, they're coming up on 200 years. You know,
real quick.
Within the next 20 years. So that's what's up to Cheyney.
But here's the fun fact.
What's up?
People would think that just because it's the first HBCU established as like the oldest HBCU in the country, it's not actually the first ever degree-giving university. That's actually Lincoln University.
Yeah, I did. So, because at first I was like, I heard something about Lincoln.
Yeah.
And then, all right, cool. So, facts on top of facts.
Facts on top of facts.
That is great. So, we're now about to meet our guest. He's sitting to my right, as all our guests will do. Our guest today is Cedrick Cooper, who, in small words, small terms, is the business manager of the athletics department. But his full title is the Assistant Athletic Director for Budget and Finance.
How important
is budget and finance? What's up, Cedrick?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate y'all having me.
So let's jump right into it. One of the things that we like to do with all of our guests, kind of start off the show and get to know you. Where are you from, and can you describe it in 3 words?
Well, I'm actually from the Eastern Shore of Virginia. In 3 words, I would have to say...
If you had to narrow it down to one city on the Eastern Shore of Virginia.
I'm sorry. I'm from Accomack. Accomack represents, stand up. And I'm from Accomack without the K. With the K is the county. Without the K is I'm going to say the city.
Okay.
Okay, really town.
All right. But we gotta rep your city, man. Rep your city for sure. But so 3 words about Accomack.
3 words about Accomack. I would say hidden treasure. Hidden treasure, greatness.
Hidden treasure and greatness. Why would you say hidden treasure and greatness?
Well, most people that pass, a lot of people pass through there. And they always ask me where I'm from, and I tell them. They're like, you mean a little stretch before the bridge where we didn't think people live there? But it's a lot, it's a lot of knowledge there. We've got a lot of small towns that are off the road. Got the best donuts in the world.
Okay.
Now listen. I was hoping you started talking about those donuts.
No, see,
go ahead, finish because I got a story about those donuts. But finish those.
So we've got a lot of, and like I said, it's really a tight knit community. Everybody knows everybody. If you meet somebody, first thing they're gonna ask you, who's your people? And then they're going to know your grandma, your great-grandma, your granddaddy, somehow like that. So.
And that's kind of rare nowadays. That people,
Exactly.
You tell you where you're from, like, oh, they don't really know who your family background is, but that's something that's cool.
People still sit on porches.
Really?
Where I'm from.
That's a lost art.
It is.
Yeah. So it's very quaint. And like I said, I went to high school, graduated high school in '94. Moved away until 2008, and then I moved back to the area.
Nice.
So I wanted my youngest son to be raised. He was a little more shy than my older two. So we moved back in time for him to start kindergarten, and he'll be graduating from high school next year.
Oh, man. Congratulations. About to be an empty nester, man.
Hey,
you know it.
So
he's looking forward to it.
Now, so we mentioned the donuts. I don't want to gloss over it. So when you work in athletics is a very fluid situation. So sometimes you'll just see faces around. So I think we were either in Florida playing Bethune and FAM or either the Norfolk State Howard swing. I don't know. But we came back and it was a new guy in the office just walking around. I was like, oh, he's just another guy. And then the next time I came back from off the road, it was donuts there. And I'm like, yo, new dude brought donuts? And then
Trying to get some swag.
so I'm like, okay. So I took a bite. I said, ooh, these not Krispy Kreme. These was made with love. I don't know. God put his hands on whoever was making those donuts. I'm like, so I saw you. We was at M Street,
Right.
And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm Cedrick. You know, we just met for truly for the first time." He was like, "Yeah, I'm the one bringing the donuts." I said, "Brother, thank you, thank you. Where are those donuts from? Please give them a plug." I don't look who makes
It's a little shop. It's called Corner Bakery in Onancock, Virginia.
Hancock, Virginia.
And it literally is on the corner.
Listen,
And they've been there, all my life. Every birthday cake I ever had came from Corner Bakery.
Wow.
The donuts, Corner Bakery. When we go to visit family out of town, they were like, yo,
Corner Bakery.
Bring some Corner Bakery.
I
And
can vouch.
the whole campus is in love with them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yo, I got a text message. It's funny. At 10 minutes to 7 this morning, and it said, now it's ironic. It says, "Good morning. Can you bring some donut holes to work this morning?" That was at 6:50 a.m. from somebody in a different department.
See, that's what. So
Hey,
people, you know what that
spread the
tells
love.
me? People wake up with these donuts on their mind. Look, before 7 o'clock, some people, I wake up, go to the gym, wake up, get coffee. Wake up, donuts. Oh, those donuts are so good. But see, and with you working in the athletics department, a lot of times what people don't realize, like for me, I work in sports information, but I did play sports in high school and stuff. You have a sports background as far as being a high school coach.
Right.
So, and then you also coach Isaac Taylor, who, played for the Hawks. So tell us a little bit about your experience with being just a high school basketball coach on the Eastern Shore.
Well, it's funny. I never had any aspirations to be a coach. I played all my life. Basketball was fun for me. Even had a couple of looks my senior year to go a couple of small schools, but, wasn't my thing. Basketball was fun. However, when I moved back to the area, my oldest son was playing AAU, and we didn't have a program in the area. So myself, my wife, a couple buddies of mine got together and started an AAU program. And so we ran the program. And so I would go by the school period. I mean, we had them from 4th grade up to
Like
12th grade.
Right. High school.
So we had different programs. Well, I would go out of schools to check on the kids. Well, it was my old high school, and I used to always be around. They needed a coach. And they were like, well, look, we see how you have a very successful AAU program. How you feel about coaching? And I was like, never really thought about it. And it was my son's senior year coming up. So I consulted him. I'm like, listen, it's your senior year. I'm kind of hard on him about basketball.
Right.
So I don't want to mess up your senior year. How do you feel if he was like, yo, Dad, I want you to take it?
Oh,
So-
there you go.
That's what's up.
Well, yeah, because I told him, I said, now, you're getting a double as your dad and as your coach. So are you ready for that? This your senior year. Dad, I would love it. And I'm going to tell you all now, I'm not one of them dads that thinks my child needs to play all games, and my wife will tell you. There was a game my son tried to dunk, and he was not a dunker.
Oh. Ooh.
And it was about 4 minutes to go in the game, so I pulled him. And as he's coming to the bench, I said, you can take your shoes off.
Ooh.
Because I'll lose before I put you back in. So my wife was in favor of it for the first 2 minutes. Then the game got close. She was like, okay, you need to put him back in. I was like, no. So
Not gonna treat him different than I would treat everybody else.
Hey, exactly.
exactly.
That's
He
respect.
understood it. He sat down to the end. He had his shoes undone because he knew, Dad ain't playing. So, by them asking me, I took the opportunity. I was the first black head coach for varsity at our high school in history.
That's at Nando?
And Nando, yeah, and Nando High School only. Shout out to the Warriors. And so while there, I coached for 5 years, and while there, I had the pleasure of meeting Isaac Taylor, one of our former athletes. When I met Isaac wasn't the chiseled, machine you see now. Yeah. He was a little pudgy. He was growing into his height, but he was eager. He came to me. He was like, Coach, I wanna get better. Quite a few arguments at night because my wife is like, hey, you coming home? I'm like, yeah, I'm finishing up with Isaac. So we're in the gym, every night working out. And, he became, the young man that you see he is today. And like I say, matter of fact, he was in my office earlier today. So it's like coaching for me was fun. Like I told him, I'm using this basketball to get your attention. And out of coaching, I mean, like now when I have guys that come home, they come out my house. They're constantly calling me. So, I've gained a lot of children. So, one of our players now, Kevon Voiles, he played AAU for me.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah.
So, we tried to bring something to the shore.
Yeah. At least something local.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because it was funny. We would go to tournaments. When I first moved home, my son was playing with a team in Virginia Beach. So we're going to tournaments in Hampton at Boo Williams, and I'm seeing like 10 other people from our area playing on different teams. I'm like, we're
may as
all
well just play together.
We're all traveling
we may
an
as well
hour,
just play
hour and
together.
a half. Let's do something locally. Give our kids some exposure. And I mean, we've had great success. One of our players now is still Charles Baines, who's like another son to me, is playing overseas right now.
Very cool.
And the funny thing about him, he never started for AAU. He never started for high school. He went to Arcadia High School. But he was the hardest worker.
Yeah.
He was the only one out of their group that went on to play college ball. Now he's playing overseas. He actually was Coach Dominic Parker.
Yeah.
Coached him at Richard Bland.
Very
Gotcha.
cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah. So he just had that work ethic.
Yeah. That's great.
So one of the things that we kind of discovered, it's a very, I guess you would call it strange things that you do outside athletics that, you get your head turned, if you tell them what you do. So outside of, the world of athletics, what do you do?
Well, my family, we own a funeral home.
Interesting. So how'd they get into that?
The funeral home was in the neighborhood where my father grew up. He had been hanging around the funeral home since he was 8. And he had an interest. The man that owned it, Umbles, rest in peace, he, taught my dad a lot. But the funny thing about it, when my dad was graduating high school, my dad expressed interest, like, hey, I want to go in the funeral business. He discouraged him. He was like, no, you're young. This business consumes your life. So my dad was like, no, I still want to do it. He was like, you know what, go to college first. So my dad went to Norfolk State for 2 years, he and my mom. My mom graduated. My dad decided he was finished. So,
There's a difference in finishing and graduating. I hope y'all caught that. One finished, one graduated.
My dad, he majored in spades while he was at Norfolk State. So
He got a master's degree in that, don't he?
But the thing, like he told me, he paid for his education, so he wasn't wasting his parents' money. He was wasting his own money. Okay. So he decided after that, he's like, you know what? I really want to go to mortuary school. So he went to mortuary school and graduated with his mortuary degree. And then he came back home and was working at the funeral home. My mom jokes him all the time because she was like, you were making $25 a week with a child. He's come a long way now. Yeah. he's come a long way now, but he just had a love for the business. Right. And so Umbles had 2 daughters, but they weren't interested in the business. Right. And so my dad just hung around and, did everything and then began to run the business when Umbles' health failed. And then Umbles left him the business. Oh, wow. Which is extremely rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
1997, we established the funeral home. It used to be C.C. Umble's Funeral Home, but now it's Cooper and Umble's Funeral Company Incorporated.
Gotcha.
And you know, he's gone. And my father's also the clerk of circuit court, so he's a public official.
Okay.
So, you know, and like I said, with our area being very small,
So everybody knows your dad.
everybody knows
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
and everybody knows my mom because she worked in DMV. We had one DMV for the entire area. She was the only African American person in there.
So everybody knew her too.
Everybody knew.
So everybody knew that's my mom.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, with the funeral business, it's about getting families. Now, when my dad inherited the business, we were not the top funeral business in the area. There was
Right.
another one up the street. But over time,
Right.
we've now become, you know, one of the top funeral homes in our area. And that's and you know, that's based on the service that we provide. And it's funny because we look at funerals different, you know. Our motto is we put the fun in funeral.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay, well, break it down if you don't mind.
I've been to a lot of funerals. Not many were fun.
Yeah.
So let us know how you put the fun in funerals.
We have a great relationship and rapport with our families. You know, even in their time of grief, you know, we still know how to make them smile.
Gotcha.
Especially my dad, you know.
Yeah. Because it's a tough time. It's
Right.
a tough time.
And my dad's the type of person that he can say things to people and get away with it that others couldn't.
Right.
He picks with people, they pick with him. So, and the funny thing is, like I said, and this is just carried on. Now, my younger sister, my sister, I only have one sister, it's just two of us. She has her mortuary license. So she's in the business as well. But she's been around more than I have because I moved away for college.
Right.
So there are people that, like, we're working funerals. They ask my dad, it's like, hey, Sam, who's the new dude? He's like,
And
that's
my son.
Son.
and they'll be like, you got a son?
So you left for 14 years.
Right. So I'm just like, you know, and my dad's like, yeah. And they're like, by your wife? He was like, yeah.
Sorry, you just now
Yeah,
found out.
so you just,
And it's funny, I met a preacher and he didn't know me.
Right.
And so my dad was introducing me. So he's like, well, where have you been? I was like, well, you know, I've been away at school. He was like, right. Look, brother, stay out of jail. So,
that is the Eastern Shore of Virginia.
yeah, he said, yeah, you've been away at school. Right. So,
But the thing is, first of all, you're grown. I don't have to use that lie on you. That's a lie that you tell. Like, if you got a 3-year-old,
Maybe.
yeah, he went to school for a little while because they don't know.
right.
Grown person, you can say, look, I did some time, but I'm back now. I'm rehabilitated. I am a new man, new person. There are plenty of people that have went in and came out rehabilitated. Some of the greatest philosophers that ever lived went to prison and came out, you know, rehabilitated. Malcolm X, Tupac, Biggie, like people go into prison sometimes and they come out
Yeah. And
better.
you-
So
and you
there's
make-
nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You know,
And like I
don't
said-
throw people away just because they have a bad mistake.
I'll
Sometimes.
tell you what my dad always says. Never turn your nose up at the person who's in jail. They just got caught.
Ooh.
Say
Say
it
that
again
one more
for the
time.
people.
Say that one more
again for the
time. Say that one more time.
Don't-
Say
Say it again for the
Don't turn
people.
your nose up at people in jail because they just got caught.
Mm.
Which
Dropping
means
gems.
we've all done something that if we got caught, we could be in that same situation.
Absolutely.
You know, so, you know, I'm one like this, you know. We're human.
Right.
We judge people, we really don't have the right to.
Yeah.
But hey, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah. But what's something I did like just think of like when you were talking about your dad, even though like everybody knows that you want to go to college, you kind of need to go to college, but sometimes college in the cards for you.
Right.
But he didn't stop educating himself in some kind of way. So even after he said, okay, I'm not going to go back to Norfolk State, I'm going to leave school, he still, was going to mortuary school, still building knowledge to help him have a career to provide for himself and provide for a family.
Exactly.
Provide for his family. So that's something that's, very important, I think.
Well, and it's funny you say that because my oldest son, Charles, graduated from here in December of 2017. Initially, from high school, I didn't want him to go to college. He was a C student with us staying on top of him. So I just felt college wasn't in the cards for him. But he decided to go, supported it. He graduated, but then after he graduated, it's okay, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a question for a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, okay, well, what's my next step? He had a job, but it wasn't something that he saw himself doing for the rest of his life. So a year after graduation, he was like, hey, Dad, I'm going into the military. So he went in the military. He's in the Navy now, stationed in San Diego. And my daughter, Ayana, graduated from Old Dominion in December of 18. Well, she tells us in May she's going to the military.
Okay.
Okay. So she just left yesterday.
Wow.
To go into the Air Force. Okay. And it's funny, my dad was cracking. He was like, most kids don't know what they're going to do right after high school, so they go to the military.
Yeah.
He was like, your children
didn't know this
went to college. Then went to the military. So now the beauty of that is they go in as officers.
Right.
Yeah, that's, I guess that's the part
going
that
in
they
commissions.
get, yeah.
Right. So, I've already started, using their military discount to my advantage. We were in
Thank you for your
in
service.
Nike. Yeah,
Thank you for your service. Oh, listen,
And
let me
the
tell you,
discount.
with Veterans Day around the corner, shout out to my dad because, front of the line, we had the military discount. Like when we were young, we had military cards too. Foot Locker used to always come in clutch. Remember my brother would go to Foot Locker, y'all take military discounts? Cool. Because they looked at me one day like, you're like 12. You're not in the military. This card says I'm a beneficiary. So thank you to all your service. With Veterans Day right around the corner, thank you to all your service. Shout out to my guys I went to college and high school with. They're serving right now. I'm coming to see y'all soon.
A lot of my friends did too. A lot of them graduated high school and just went.
Yeah.
A couple of them, I think, earliest one I have is now on their 5-year anniversary.
Man, actually, my cousin is actually in the Navy, stationed down in Norfolk.
Okay.
He's been there for 7 years. So,
down at Little Creek.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
But that's
military's
interesting.
always
All
in
your
there.
kids, for the most part, have gone to universities on the Eastern Shore.
Yeah.
Now, is that your son's plan, or is he like, Dad, Mom, I'm just going
My
away,
youngest, Cedrick Jr. He's the shy one of the bunch. All three of my kids. First of all, shout out to my wife Trina because I wouldn't have my children without her.
Oh, okay.
So
Shout out to Trina.
happy wife, happy life. But like my youngest, he's very shy, and it's like there are some things that he wants to do. Like he wants to go into the mortuary business, and like now, like when I do removals. He goes and does removals with me.
Now, explain your removals.
Okay, removals.
But before you jump
go
in
ahead,
that, wouldn't that be? You just said your son is a shy person.
Right.
Don't you have to be kind of an outgoing person?
He's a
in
type.
that?
He's a
Or
type
is it
that
a
would
certain
work
situation?
he'd stay in the embalming room probably.
Okay.
Okay. He's got an interest for the business. But yeah, as far as removals are when a person has been declared deceased. They then call the selected funeral home.
Okay.
And, depends on where they're at. It could be the hospital, could be the nursing home, could be the home.
Right.
Accidents. So I've been, taking him for the last couple of years. He goes with me. Now, he's not very keen on the 3 a.m. calls. So when I'm waking him up, like, hey, we got a call. And I'm like, no, I don't want to.
But you got to give them all aspects of it. If you want to get in this, you need to know every aspect.
And that's the nature of the business, is that it is very time consuming, and your plans are in pencil. because, hey, Saturday, we going to hang out and go shoot ball or whatever.
Right.
Oh, I got 3 funerals. Now I can't make it.
Yeah, can't shoot ball.
Well, as you've seen since I've been working here, now we have Saturday games. Like, I'll come to the games late, straight from a funeral.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year, I mean...
Or come early and leave.
Right. I drove to Hearst to a game last year.
Nah, I missed that one.
I saw it out there. I saw it out there.
What day? Monday. I drove the vault truck to work.
Saw that too.
And it's one of those businesses. I mean, like, jobs I've had before, like back down in Virginia. I mean, like, hey, we got a house call. I got to leave work. Go. House calls, you got to go right away because the person's in the house and it might only be 20 minutes, but to the people there, it's 2 hours.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So, you've got, that's one of those businesses that you have to. Now, the one thing I don't do with the business, children.
Interesting.
Okay? Children. My dad, my mom, no. If we got a kid at the funeral home, they ain't gonna see me that week. I had to work a funeral once for a 2-year-old.
Oh.
And my baby boy was 2 at the time.
Oh, yeah. So that's probably why.
Hit really
And
close, yeah.
so the people that were at the funeral probably was like, wow, that must be his kid. Because I'm working and I'm crying like hard the whole time. My dad was like, you know what you've done? You've put yourself in the parent's
in that
shoes.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, my son was 2, the little boy was 2. So that's one thing I don't, I shy away from.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one, and I do everything in the business except embalm.
Okay.
I do everything except embalm.
Got you. But so now this, your personal life, with being a basketball coach, funeral director, embalmer, part-time. Here at Maryland Eastern Shore, as the, business manager, athletic director for budget and finance, what kind of does that entail, on the day-to-day?
Gotcha. Basically, I've been tasked to control the money in athletics.
Ooh. and that's a big dollar amount.
Yeah, it is. Because, this is...
That's a lot of cream, as Wu-Tang would say.
Cash rule everything around me. Get the money.
Dollar bill, y'all. I should have mentioned that before. I told Langston off air, me and Cedrick do 95% of our conversations in either movie quotes or rap lyrics. So
I just shook my head and nodded.
Yeah.
So
okay,
that's how that. So that's just how it goes. So I knew it was coming.
It was gonna happen.
I knew it was coming. It wasn't even forced. It just came.
But this job experience is new to me. I've been in finance for 20 years, but with the collegiate aspect of it, this is my first go round, and seeing a lot of things, rules and regulations, like by the NCAA, like as far as like meals, if you're not, if you're not enough here on official visit, I can't even give you a Pepsi. You know what I mean? So, I'm sorry, Coca-Cola, our sponsor. So
That's a
Coke is
plug.
it. So seeing that aspect of it now, and I'm still learning. Like I said, I've only been here since January, so I'm still learning a lot, and I'm trying to get a grasp on a lot of things. And basically, I'm looking at stuff to see, okay, how can I simplify this?
Mm-hmm.
How can we streamline some of these things? Because athletics is an animal of its own.
Yeah, it's an animal I don't think people really truly
Not at
understand.
all.
Outside of the game,
Outside of just-
portion,
Yeah. Oh, game
Yeah.
day's a small piece. It's
Yeah,
a small
that's-
piece of it.
I
But
don't
I mean-
worry about game day. Like, I worry about game day, but game day is like just another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and then it's actually one of the few days in athletics that kind of stays the same.
Yeah. I mean, you look because on game
Yeah.
day, you know what your day is going to be like.
Right.
But a lot of times, and this is what I hear outside. Everyone thinks athletics is fun and cool. Y'all get gear, you get to go to games. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing nothing like that.
That might be like 1/4% of it.
Yeah, and and like I said,
The gear is a consolation.
Yeah,
That's
if you have enough money
because
left over.
when I got this job and the first time I came home and I had it was just some shorts on, just regular Nike shorts. Oh man, you got to bring some shorts back. I said, number one, I don't work at Duke. So I just can't bring y'all stuff back. You know what I mean? And then number two, I'm like, you all were not taking that 8-hour bus ride to Orangeburg, South Carolina, or that 14-hour bus ride to Atlanta just to get the shorts. And then work when you get there.
It's not like they're flying out to
Right,
every
no,
game,
right.
some of these other schools
And then
might have
sometimes when you take flights, if you last year, for instance, I went with the basketball team to North Texas, which is in Denton, Texas. Now, obviously, you're like, oh, what is Denton, Texas? Which means it's not one of the major cities, which means the airport is not there.
Yeah.
But our flight from BWI was at 6 a.m. So as everybody out there who lives on the Eastern Shore knows, BWI is 2 hours away from Maryland Eastern Shore. And you also know you have to be at the airport 2 hours before your flight. So we left here at 2 a.m.
Plus, you're traveling with a team of 15 20 guys,
20 people.
staff, training staff, gear.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you leave campus at 2 a.m., get to BWI at 4, go through security, because, doing all that, checking bags in, you catch a flight that is about 2.5 hours to get there, find a bus first of all, get your luggage, find a bus, you're not with your regular bus company, and then get on that bus and ride another hour to get to the, hotel, and then practice later on that day, that's not a glamorous life. I mean, once the game, it's cool because, you sit in the sideline, that's nice, but the time that you put in outside of just the game is what I think people really don't realize.
Yeah, and see, and with that, like you were saying, getting there, I'm the one that's got to reach out, coordinate the flight, coordinate the bus company that's not a regular bus company, make sure the hotel is, squared away. I've gotten phone calls in the middle of the night like, hey, we're at the hotel and, they don't have our credit card authorization on file. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, put them on the phone. You know what I mean? I was like, was sent, and a lot of times I get misplaced or whatever. Okay, let me get information on the phone. So the job of athletics is not 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. It goes, last week we had an issue. The air conditioner went off.
Yeah.
And we got a volleyball game. So now you got the floors sweating. This is on a Sunday afternoon. So,
when
that
everybody
was a fun game.
when everybody else is like, we just at church, we watching football.
Yeah, right.
We chilling out. We're out there literally, trying to find maintenance people, get the floor right, and then after all that, finish the game and then do everything you normally
get the team
do.
that was there on the bus so they can fly back to the campus.
Because as we said, the airport in here, so they had to get all the way to I think Philly or Baltimore, wherever they were going. So it's it's a lot of there's so much stuff behind the scenes of athletics.
It's a lot of moving parts, and this is the things that I'm realizing now. With just never knowing the behind the scenes of things. And I came into the position that had been vacant for like a year and a half.
Right.
So I'm already starting off, a little behind.
Right.
And I'm learning as I'm going along. And then along the way, the person that was training me, shout out to Miss Ann.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Carter.
Shout out to Miss Carter. She was like my go-to person. And then,
she retired.
And I'm just kind of like... So people come in and they're like, hey, listen, Miss Ann used to do such and such. I was like, I'm going to have to text her.
Give me a moment.
You realize the amount of stuff that she was doing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, she did it, so we expect you to do it. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to do it. Yeah. So
learn with me.
Exactly. Help me help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the one of the big things that I realized, not just in athletics, but on the campus in general. And just with that, the relationships you have with people in the department, outside the university, make a world of difference.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because there are times that, a coach might not have something in on time. Right. But hey, I need a flight tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's
Because the
last
schedule's
minute.
the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta, now I gotta make a phone call. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
How's your day?
Right.
You know what? I
bring out
know
some
it's like,
donuts
I've bought donuts. I've bought church fans. Hey, I need to keep all relationships positive.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I know they control a lot of what goes on in our department.
Right.
And so you don't want to upset those people.
Yep.
They're like, oh, okay. All right, no
Yeah.
problem. I'm going to put your travel over here. You know, now I got a team. Hey, we're at the airport. They don't have tickets for us.
And we got to get to California.
We gotta get to California.
We got to get to California. Yeah, but I know we asked Trevor this last week. I'll ask you, what's the most fulfilling thing, that you get out of your job?
The relationships. I've met a lot of people that I did, and like I say, the job. I actually, one of our former coaches, Ace Custis, he and I are good friends. We actually have a very unique relationship. So Ace called me about the position. And he was like, hey, I know you got a job and everything, but, we need, basically an accountant in our department. And so that's what made me inquire and, got the process started. Shout out to Ace. He's now back at his alma mater, Virginia Tech, on the coaching staff. Shout out to him. And, so that kind of, brought me through the door. But then as I was going across campus, people that I know from back home, quite a few work here.
Got you.
And so meeting back up with them and then meeting new people.
Right.
And like I said, it makes it because some days, you just have those days where, and Ralan will tell you, he and I are good for that. He's like, yo, it's one of them days we can't get nothing. We come in the room, we got like Monday. He came plop down. He's like, yo, Ghost asked for that.
Listen, oh man, I don't want to get us. We'll be here for hours talking about power.
Hours.
We will be here for hours talking about power, man.
But we were talking about how cocky Ghost was the other day. I was like, yo,
that man,
I can't even be mad with him because he just really showed his tail. He's like, yo, I did this. Ain't nobody stopping it.
First of all, the way that Ghost was talking to people, I said he really he.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mark my words. Tyreek shot him.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler. Spoiler
alert.
alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. Tyreek shot him.
I'm with that. Since we already spoiled it, let's just go there. I'm with Tyreek shooting him, but Dre gave him the gun, and I'm gonna tell you why. Tyreek cannot get his hands on those kind of things. He's a child, but Dre can. And who did he go to the last time he was in trouble? Dre. Who did he go to the first time he was in trouble? Dre. Cedrick. I just told you, don't get me started on power.
Open up a can of worms.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, it's a couple shows. This is off topic. It's a podcast. We can go off topic. I can talk about power all day. You watch The Wire? I can talk about The Wire all day. Shout out to Baltimore.
Oh,
Look, listen, but before I had ever been to Baltimore, The Wire had me nervous to come to Baltimore. I'm like, listen, is Bodie gonna be waiting on me?
Bodymore Murderland. You know what they call it?
I can talk about power.
Yeah, I love The Wire. I still watch The Wire sometime now. My wife would be like, really? I was like, yo, the only thing, I don't think they should have wasted Stringer.
Where is Wallace? Shout out to Michael B. Jordan, man. Where is Wallace, man?
Come on, man.
Man, look, we talk Power, The Wire, Scandal, Modern Family.
It's all good.
Fresh Prince. I talk about them all day long. But yeah, we just went off on the tangent. But
Way off. Way
off on the tangent. But he should. But that lets you. But that's athletics for you, for real. Because I mean, and I'm sure you deal with this too, because they know you work in the athletics department. They want to talk to you about athletics all the time. I cannot.
You can't do it all the time.
Well, the biggest thing, they was like, yo, can I get a sweatsuit?
Oh yeah.
Can I get some sneakers?
It's always a sweatshirt or the sneaker or the gear.
I need some sneakers. Yo, I like your shoes. Can I get some of them? I'm like, I'm gonna see you straight.
No,
Unfortunately.
I can't.
You make a donation. You might put your hand in the pot.
I'm gonna get you. What size you need? Okay, I got that. I got that.
Yeah, man. Whew. I'm sorry. I'm still coming down off power. But we'll keep going.
Hey,
but man,
it's
look,
a big rich town, man.
come from the poorest parts. You don't watch Power, do you?
I don't. I
You don't watch
don't.
Power. You in the minority that does not watch
Yeah.
Power, and it's cool.
It's
Cool. It is
not,
fine.
It's not for everybody.
You know what I mean? Like that's why I was laughing the other day. I said we was talking about Power, and then the Popeye's chicken sandwich is back now.
It's
the
great.
First, me and Cedrick was the
I've had
first.
my third one.
Me and Cedrick had Popeye's chicken.
The first go round.
The first time around, we was like, "Yo, Cedric, let's go get the sandwiches." He was like, "Popeye." I said, "Chicken sandwiches, Popeye." So me and Cedric, this is the first person I had a Popeye chicken sandwich with.
Yeah.
And it was like, and, Princess Anne is small, so let's say it was 15 people in Popeyes, 13 of them worked at Maryland Eastern Shore, and the other two are like doctors over there, urgent care, right? But that was it. So yeah, man. But Cedric, appreciate you coming through.
Thank y'all for
And,
having me, man.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I consider it an honor. I didn't know what I was walking into. A while ago when I was walking, Pat was like, who's on the podcast today? Ray was like, Sad. She's like, ooh. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What's that about? Am I getting set up for something, So, but I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for coming through, man.
Yeah, you had me back on your 5th anniversary, so I can talk about how I was your second podcast guest.
Yeah.
And I was like, you remember we were talking about ghosts then? And I told y'all Tyreek shot it.
Hopefully by then we'll know who did.
Yeah, starting January 5th,
we'll know. It's not a plug for Power, but January 5th, we'll know.
Yeah,
and look,
not at all.
And like I said, and I'll say this, and then we can really go about Power. The funniest thing is Power, because, the majority of the cast is African American, but the biggest Power fans that are student athletes in the department are our European volleyball players.
And that is a true fact.
It is a fact. Like,
That
we
is
get
a
on
true
the bus, who? Ghost. I'm like,
What? Pause. Wait.
you're from Bulgaria. What? You
Ow.
watch Power? Yes, I love it every week. I'm like, this is...
It's hilarious because they come walking down the hallway to stick their head in the door, see if you're here, and you're like, did you watch the episode this week? And it's like, what episode are you on? And then it's like, either give you the green light or no, we'll talk when you watch the episode. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, my sister, that's how she and I do. Sunday mornings, I watch it on demand.
Oh, yeah.
But she doesn't watch it till at night. So I'm like, yo, I see her in church. I'm like, yo,
Unfortunately.
get ready for the night. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Get ready for the night. You know what I mean? You might not. She called me the other night. She was like, yo, I was gonna shoot ghosts. He was so cocky.
Me and your sister was on the same page. But appreciate you coming through, Cedric. We ain't even gonna worry about the social media part. We just gonna flow.
Yeah, I'm on nothing. I'm on Facebook, so send me a friend request. That's about it. I'm not on Twitter or Instagram. I am on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn. So, I don't know my LinkedIn name, just Cedrick Cooper.
Yeah.
So
It's just that's how they'll find you.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
I'm easy to find. If I'm not here at UMES, come down to Accomack and stop by Cooper and Umbles.
I actually don't want to be in Cooper and Umbles for a long time.
No, listen, here's what you got to do though. You've got to secure tomorrow's needs at today's prices. Just think about that.
That's deep.
Because think about it. Milk goes up every week. So do funerals. We all got to go that way.
Well,
That's true.
When shadows gather, let us assume your burden.
You definitely work in the funeral industry because that's the kind of stuff they tell you. Like, oh my god.
okay, folks.
With shadows.
Shout out to the whole Cooper and Umble staff.
When shadows gather.
Let us assume your birth.
Folks, this is a happy podcast.
Let's end happy.
Yeah, on a better note.
Let's get happier now.
Since we're here on the shore at Maryland Leisure Shore, give
Yo,
a
support your local businesses. Basically, what you're trying to
please,
say.
support your local.
And support your Hawks.
Support
you
your
know,
Hawks.
we need to fill the seats.
Absolutely.
Support our team. Support our school. Show your Hawk pride.
Always.
Hawk pride, catch it.
Always catching.
And speaking of Hawk Pride, our men's and women's basketball teams have opened the season. Both will be traveling this weekend. Check EasternShoreHawks.com for all your updates. The men fell to Penn State this week. They'll be playing Liberty and Longwood upcoming, and the women will be traveling to William and Mary.
Yep.
So, and also bowling is in full swing.
Yeah, volleyball.
Volleyball is
up.
on the stretch run.
Cross country.
Cross country just wrapped up. Indoor track will be coming. So there's plenty of times to come out and support your Hawks. Follow the Hawks on ES Hawks Sports. And then from there, each Twitter and ES Hawks on Instagram.
Yep.
And
And you can find us on Facebook, on the website. You can find us pretty much everywhere. You Google it, you can find us. That's all you gotta do.
For sure.
But thanks everybody for joining us. This is the second full episode of Talk for the Shore. If you miss anything, go back and watch our previous episode. You can find us at hashtag TalkShore on Twitter or Instagram, or you can email us for any guest requests that you want to hear from, topics you want us to cover. You can email us at mdtalkshore@gmail.com.
That is correct. Cedrick, thank you for coming through. It's been fun.
Fellas, thank y'all for having me. I've enjoyed myself, and I will be listening to the podcast going forward.
Good.
Good.
Because if there's only one thing you can do, you can always subscribe, leave a rating,
Okay.
and definitely share it with your friends.
Well, I'm going to rate this show the highest. Has nothing to do with me being on here,
Is that so?
but I mean, it's the first one that I've participated in, the first one I've listened to, so this is going to be my favorite one.
Well, there you go.
There it is.
There you go. Nothing better.
Nothing biased about that, though.
Thank everybody for watching, listening to the Talk of the Shore. I'm Ralan Wardlaw.
I'm Langston Frazier. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, everybody.
See you later.